Okay, page 5 of 7. Again, the address up top. Risk of loss. If the house burns down prior to the closing, it remains with the seller's responsibility. If it burns down the day after, the day of, or 5 minutes after it records, it goes to the buyer's responsibility. All buyers have the ability to do a walkthrough before closing. This is boilerplated in here that they'll have a first walkthrough within 3 business days after the deadline for completion of repairs on the inspection. Remember when we do the RE10 and we ask for these things to be fixed, they let us know that they've got them fixed. We can go back in and check. The second walkthrough that they get would be up to 3 days before closing. I suggest that you do it as close to closing as possible, as in, the morning of closing, to make sure that the home looks the way it's supposed to, because once it records, you have no recourse to go back. Singular and plural. Okay, foreclosure notice. This basically just states that the property described is currently involved in a foreclosure. If it is, then they need to let the buyer be aware of that. Mechanics, liens, and general contractor disclosure statement notice. Okay, this is what I was talking about. If maybe potentially you get the extended coverage to protect against something like that. The disclosure statement must be given to a homeowner prior to the general contractor entering into a contract in the amount exceeding $2,000. The homeowner is going to go in and do some stuff to fix the home, right? The buyer needs to be aware of that and needs to know what the general contractor is doing, and they need to have full disclosure of that. Sales price information is not confidential. Transmission of documents, fax, e-signature is the same as original. Business days and calendar days, you understand that. And attorney fees. Default. If the buyer defaults, okay, we get past the inspection time frame and we're moving along to closing and we're 5 days out from closing and the buyer gets cold feet, okay, buyer decides to walk. At that point, if they just walk for no other reason than they decide they change their mind or they find a better house that they want, they're probably going to lose their earnest money. The seller is going to take it for liquidated damages, okay? If the seller defaults, right, they decide at the last minute not to move forward with the sale, the buyer can sue them for performance and damages, okay, because they might have expenses they've incurred as well. Earnest money dispute. If the earnest money goes into dispute and nobody can agree on who gets what, it goes to an interpleader and we don't get involved in that.